Right, we've run out of modelling supplies, so we've got to have a trip to B&Q to get some chicken wire, because otherwise my hills will come to a standstill. So here we are at our local B&Q in Peterborough. So we'll go and get some chicken wire. I absolutely hate it on a Sunday morning when everybody's out trying to find something to do. It's even worse at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody turns out of these out of town shopping places. Now we're going to Peterborough's model shop, Trains for You, because I think I better get some brick paper or stone paper. Here we are, just coming along Fengate in Peterborough. And this is where our local model shop is. Trains for You. Now I don't know how successful this is going to be. There's lots of small items on the shelves. It's not very brightly lit, so not ideal for filming, especially hand-held, and so it might just be a complete jumble. But there might be quite a few modelers out there who don't know of the model shop in Peterborough and might like to have a look round and just see what's available. Again, it's very difficult to say whether it's ideal for N gauge people or O gauge people, but they've got a quite varied selection. So there down at the bottom there was all the set track points, a selection of starter kits up at the top, all the aerosol cans and Humbrol paints on a rack there, some more points and turnouts. They've got a whole range of glues on the shelf at the top there, for balsa wood and plastic and rocket glue and all sorts of impact adhesives and so on and so forth. All these are the plastic models down at the bottom. All this is 00. All the way along here is, on the left hand side, is 00 stuff. You know, there's bits of platforms and wheel sets and foam underlay for points and so on and so forth. Now I think, is this, I've forgotten whether this is N gauge or whether this is double O. And this is where we actually need somebody like Richard. He's a mine of information, and he'd be able to tell us every type of loco that's in here, especially on the diesels. I can recognise a Deltic, and that's about it, I'm afraid. But as you can see, there's a fair selection there. This is the cabinet I normally look in. I definitely know this is N gauge. So again, there's quite a selection there. There's 2 shelves lower down, obviously. So I didn't know how this would actually turn out, but if people are coming from further afield, because often it's quite nice to actually see something rather than buying it online. It might just turn out as a complete jumble, but it might give you some idea, as I say, of what's available. If you stop the video, you can probably catch 1 or 2 other prices. But I think it's quite nice to support the local model shops. They more and more seem to be disappearing, and I say it is quite nice to actually see things and have a look at them before you buy them. This is all N gauge stuff on the right hand side here. All your track pins and rail joiners and little bits and pieces. These are all kits, white metal kits, brass kits, all sorts like that. Rack of tools. I forget what this is. Is this O gauge or HO? I get mixed up. Jim will definitely recognise this. Jim did a review on this only a few days ago. I think it's Jim. Hover motion. Is it hover motion? I'm hopeless at remembering names. So there we've got another cabinet full of wonderful goodies. All sorts of weird and wonderful bits and pieces. I've no idea what that is. That's obviously some specialised tanker. This is the second-hand bit. A lot of it is probably half price, and most of my, well, the little bit of Rogaline stock I have got is second-hand. This is also second-hand. All them little wagons with tarpaulin over that I've got came out of here. Something like £4 a piece. So I always make a point of having a look through there. I think them coaches were £3, something like that. So if anybody's wanting spare parts, or to spray them up into different liveries, or even just something to practice on, then that can be quite handy. Here we've got a selection of 00 vehicles, some narrowboats, this is their little test track, so if you buy anything second hand, you can run it round, or if you've got a problem with a loco, you can run it round there and get their advice. And then on the wall they've got that chart with all the different set track radiuses and turnouts. I think there was some industrial locos. Again, a nice selection of diesels there. Some American stock. No idea what that is. I meant to go back and actually have a look at that. Love them little tipper trucks. I'd like to do something with a little quarry on them tipper trucks. Then they've got all the precision metals, selections of tools and switches, scalpels. I think that's the same set of cars that I showed earlier. All that in the middle there is N-gauge rolling stock, wagons, etc. Then they've got an upstairs, which is mainly, well, it's a mixture of all sorts. They've got some scale electric stuff, airfix kits, and then some more second-hand cabinets. So again, if somebody was wanting spares or something like that, then I don't know, there might be some rarities in there that somebody might spot and think, oh yeah, I've been looking for one of them. So I think all this is 00. And again, I don't know what the prices are elsewhere and whether that is value for money. They've got a lot of all the scenery stuff, obviously, for different scales. Those are all ready-made trees on the left. Another cabinet full of locos and rolling stock here. Oh, look at them. Cabinet full of Hornby. A couple of cranes there. These seem cheap. I don't know what kind of locos they're for, but I thought they were £22. Perhaps they haven't got motors in. I don't know what they are. Or they might be second hand. I don't know. Then again, you've got some more kits in different gauges. Stations and bridge portals and signal boxes. Oh, there's the bridge there. Graham's got that. He's recently put lights on that and illuminated it. What else we got? Oh, that's more all the bags of flock and stuff like that. Dry walling, although that's for a bigger gauge. I think that's O gauge is all that. Then again, the big bottles of flock and so on and so forth for fields and scenery. All the different coloured ballasts. in the bigger bottles. Round to the right there you've got a room full of Airfix models. This is obviously some second-hand stuff already made up, and a lot of it looked in quite good condition. For £35 that didn't seem bad. I don't know whether this is junk. There's one or two that are quite broken, but I'm sure they wouldn't take that much fixing. I think some of that has seen better days, but again, a lot of it is going for a song, so if you've got a lot of stuff to buy, it could be an option to get your layout up and running pretty quickly, rather than buying all the new stuff. That's Thomas the Tank Engine. I presume that's a garden railway type toy. Flipping heck, it's a bit expensive. Then we've got a little backwards and forwards tabletop model there that's for sale. So there we go, that's Peterborough Model Shop. I hope that was of some kind of interest to somebody. Right, home James, and don't spare the horses! Here you'll be able to see why the loft space was totally unusable. The roof behind the white van there slopes in from all four directions, and so the loft space is really poor. There we go, now we can get some modelling done. Good girl. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey? Are you pleased to see your dad? Hey? Come on. Can somebody please make a how-to video on how to unwrap and use chicken wire? It's taken me, I don't know, 35-40 minutes to unwrap this chicken wire. You can't buy it in small quantities, you've got to buy a blooming great roll. Right, here you can see that I'm just running a bus wire down along the edge of the hills, because obviously we might want to motorise the sheep and possibly the sheepdog and even the farmer, so we can have one man and his dog running around the hillsides. So this will make a nice electrical feed for anything along the hills. But anyway, I've managed to unroll it, spread it out, stop it springing everywhere by threading a piece of wood through, holding it down, and I've drilled little holes through the dividers or supports, and I'm now going to tie it on with some of the wire that the chicken wire was wrapped up with. So that's what I'm now attempting to do. How successful it'll be, I've no idea, because I have never worked with this stuff before, so it's all a little bit experimental. One of the obvious problems compared to a conventional circuit, a conventional layout, is that this is going to be removable and I'm going to be lifting it, and so unlike many of the hills on layouts, I'm going to be moving this constantly, and the last thing I want to do is for the landscape to delaminate from the supports. So I'm going to try my best to tie each one of these onto the supports, which is obviously going to be quite a long and laborious job. Now you can see my big mistake in making the layout as big as possible. I've been on my knees for the last 15 minutes. My back is absolutely killing me. My knees are very similar. You might say, well, why don't you put it on legs or trestles, which was the intention. But if I put it on legs or trestles, then to get to the other side I've either got to, well, I have got to crawl underneath. So it sort of swings and roundabouts. Something you don't fully think about when you're actually planning a project like this. So I can't put a lot of weight on anything. You know, I'll be resting on the track. So the more you think about something in the planning stage, the better it is, I promise you. If I'd have made it a foot shorter, I could have put it on legs and there'd have been room at the end to simply walk around, and it would have been so much better. So there we go, we all learn from our mistakes. Sorry that a lot of the shop footage was just a blur, but it might give some people in the surrounding area an idea whether it's worth a visit if you're passing close to Peterborough. Hope you found something of interest. By all means leave a comment or feedback. There's lots of viewers who actually read the comments, and it's a way that you can contribute and give your own ideas and opinions. Thank you to all the new subscribers as well, that's very much appreciated. And if you want updates, remember also you have to click on the little cogwheel outside of the subscribe banner. So thank you very much, and as always, Thank you very much for watching.